The journey of twin flames is often described as one of the most profound and transformative spiritual connections two souls can experience. Rooted in the belief that a single soul can split into two, these mirrored halves incarnate in separate bodies, embarking on lifetimes of growth, separation, and reunion. Twin flames, unlike soulmates, are not here to simply complement one another, but to challenge, heal, and accelerate spiritual evolution. The intensity of this connection transcends the ordinary, propelling both individuals into a process of deep inner work, awakening, and ultimately union with their highest selves. In this intricate dance, however, it is often the divine feminine who feels the brunt of the connection's challenges. While both counterparts experience struggles, the divine feminine is more likely to bear the emotional and spiritual weight of the journey. This isn't due to weakness or imbalance, but because of the unique energetic role the divine feminine plays in the twin flame dynamic. To understand why this path feels more arduous for her, we must first explore the nature of the divine feminine and the energy she carries into the connection. The divine feminine represents the yin, the nurturing, intuitive, and receptive aspects of creation. She embodies compassion, unconditional love, and spiritual wisdom, often attuned to higher realms and inner guidance. In contrast, the divine masculine holds the energy of action, logic, and structure. Both energies are essential, and neither is superior to the other. However, in the twin flame connection, the divine feminine is typically the first to awaken to the spiritual significance of the bond. This awakening is not a gentle nudge, but a profound and often overwhelming experience that thrusts her into the depths of her soul. The divine feminine's sensitivity to energy means she is more attuned to the emotional undercurrents of the connection. She feels the highs and lows more intensely, often picking up on her counterparts' emotions, thoughts, and even unresolved traumas. This energetic sensitivity can be both a blessing and a burden, as it requires immense strength to navigate the emotional turbulence that comes with it. While the divine masculine may seem more grounded or distant, it is not a reflection of a lack of connection, but rather a different way of processing the experience. One of the reasons the twin flame journey feels harder for the divine feminine is that she often assumes the role of the spiritual leader in the connection. Her early awakening means she becomes the torchbearer, guiding the path for both herself and her twin. This leadership is not about control, but about holding space for the connection to unfold in divine timing. It requires her to maintain faith, even when the external circumstances appear bleak. Awakening is rarely a smooth process. It involves confronting shadow aspects of oneself, healing past wounds, and releasing limiting beliefs. For the divine feminine, this often means facing deep-seated fears of abandonment, unworthiness, and rejection. These fears are not just personal, but are often rooted in collective trauma, making her healing journey even more significant. She becomes a vessel for transmuting not only her pain, but also the pain of the collective feminine energy. The burden of awakening can feel isolating. The divine feminine may long for her twin to understand and reciprocate her level of awareness, but this rarely happens simultaneously. The divine masculine's awakening often follows a different timeline, leaving the divine feminine to navigate the complexities of the connection alone. This perceived separation can be a source of immense pain and confusion as she grapples with the paradox of feeling deeply connected, yet physically or emotionally distant from her twin. Another layer of difficulty for the divine feminine lies in the emotional intensity of the connection. Twin flames mirror each other's deepest wounds and insecurities, bringing them to the surface for healing. For the divine feminine, this can feel like an emotional roller coaster, as she is not only processing her own emotions, but also those of her twin. The energetic bond between twins is so profound that she may experience emotions that seem to come out of nowhere, only to realize they are reflections of her counterpart's struggles. Surrendering to this intensity is perhaps one of the greatest challenges. The divine feminine is often called to release control and trust the universe's timing. This surrender is not about giving up, but about relinquishing the need to force outcomes. It requires her to cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and trust, even when the path ahead is unclear. The process of surrender is a lesson in faith, teaching her to let go of attachment to the physical manifestation of union and instead focus on her own healing and growth. The challenge of surrender is compounded by societal conditioning that teaches us to seek validation and fulfillment externally. The divine feminine must unlearn these patterns and turn inward, finding wholeness within herself. This journey of self-love and empowerment is a cornerstone of the twin flame path, as true union can only occur when both counterparts have achieved a sense of inner balance and completeness. Patience, as a spiritual virtue, is more than simply waiting. It is about trusting in the unfolding of life according to divine timing. For the divine feminine on the twin flame journey, this concept can be one of the most challenging to embody. Divine timing operates beyond the confines of the logical mind and the physical world. It follows a rhythm dictated by the soul's needs and the intricate workings of the universe, often invisible to the human eye. Understanding and accepting this truth requires the divine feminine to develop a deep, unwavering trust in the unseen. The divine feminine's intuitive nature often offers her glimpses of potential outcomes, creating a sense of urgency. She may feel a profound connection with her twin flame, sensing the inevitability of their union. This foresight can become a double-edged sword. On one hand, it fuels her faith, but on the other, it amplifies her longing, making the waiting period feel even more excruciating. It is in this tension between knowing and not knowing that her patience is tested and refined. The waiting phase is not idle time. It is an active state of preparation, a sacred period where the divine feminine learns to deepen her relationship with herself. She is invited to explore her passions, nurture her well-being, and engage in self-discovery. The universe gently pushes her to cultivate independence and find fulfillment within. This phase teaches her that true love begins with self-love, and by tending to her inner world, she lays the foundation for a harmonious external union. As obstacles arise, the divine feminine may feel tempted to doubt the process. The path may seem unclear, and the delays can feel like setbacks. However, every perceived detour is purposeful. Challenges emerge not to hinder, but to shape her into the person she needs to become for the connection to thrive. Each delay holds lessons in resilience, faith, and surrender. Through these experiences, she learns that patience is not about waiting passively for circumstances to change. It is about cultivating inner peace amidst uncertainty. Living fully in the present moment is a significant aspect of this lesson. The divine feminine's empowerment lies in her ability to find joy and meaning in her current reality, regardless of the status of her twin flame connection. By shifting her focus from the future to the now, she liberates herself from the shackles of expectation. This shift is not about abandoning the dream of union, but about trusting that it will happen in its perfect time. The present becomes a canvas for her to paint her life with passion, creativity, and authenticity. In embracing divine timing, the divine feminine also learns to release control. This surrender is not an act of giving up, but an act of faith. It is a declaration that she trusts the universe to orchestrate events in her highest good. The energy she emits in this state of surrender is magnetic, drawing her twin flame closer energetically. The paradox is that in letting go, she creates the space for the connection to flourish naturally. Patience, therefore, becomes a profound spiritual practice. It cultivates qualities of grace, humility, and trust. The divine feminine emerges from this phase with a newfound strength, having mastered the art of presence and faith. She learns that her happiness is not contingent upon external circumstances, but is a state of being she can access at any moment. This inner peace becomes her anchor, a guiding light that leads her forward on the twin flame journey. The dark night of the soul is a profound rite of passage on the twin flame journey. For the divine feminine, this phase often feels like an emotional and spiritual crucible, a time when everything familiar falls away, leaving her in a state of raw vulnerability. It is not a punishment, but an invitation to shed old layers and align with her true essence. This period of deep transformation is both harrowing and sacred, offering the opportunity for profound rebirth. In the midst of the dark night, the divine feminine may feel a profound sense of loss. The structures and beliefs that once provided comfort begin to crumble. Relationships, career paths, and even her sense of identity may come into question. This dismantling is necessary to clear the way for something greater, the emergence of her authentic self. The darkness is a womb space, a fertile ground where new seeds of consciousness are planted. During this phase, feelings of isolation and emptiness are common. The divine feminine may feel disconnected from her twin flame, from the universe, and even from herself. This void, however, is not a sign of abandonment, but a sacred space of stillness where deep healing occurs. It is in this quiet, introspective space that she confronts her shadows, the fears, wounds, and limiting beliefs that have been buried within her. The process of facing these aspects is not easy, but it is essential for her growth. Finding strength in vulnerability becomes a key lesson. The divine feminine learns that her power lies not in resistance, but in her ability to surrender to the process. By allowing herself to feel fully and authentically, she initiates a profound healing process. Each tear shed, each moment of despair, is an alchemical act, transforming pain into wisdom and strength. The dark night strips her of all pretenses, revealing the core of who she truly is. As she navigates this transformative phase, the divine feminine discovers the importance of self-compassion. The journey inward is often accompanied by feelings of guilt, regret, or shame. However, she learns to offer herself the same love and forgiveness she would extend to others. This practice of self-compassion becomes a cornerstone of her healing, allowing her to release the burdens she has carried for far too long. Emerging from the dark night, the divine feminine experiences a sense of clarity and renewal. The darkness has served its purpose. It has purified her soul and aligned her with her higher self. She steps into a new chapter with a deeper understanding of her purpose and a stronger connection to her inner wisdom. The fears that once held her back have lost their power, replaced by a quiet confidence in her ability to navigate life's challenges. This phase also cultivates a profound sense of empathy. Having walked through the fire, the divine feminine gains a deeper understanding of the human experience. She recognizes the struggles and pain of others with greater compassion. This expanded awareness allows her to hold space for her twin flame and those around her with an open heart. Her journey becomes a testament to the power of transformation and the beauty that can emerge from even the darkest of times. Ultimately, the dark night of the soul is a sacred initiation. It is a passage that leads the divine feminine to her highest potential, empowering her to embody the qualities of love, wisdom, and resilience. She emerges not as a victim of circumstance, but as a sovereign being, fully aligned with her soul's purpose. The darkness has not diminished her light. It has made it shine brighter. The conclusion of the divine feminine's journey is not marked by the attainment of an external goal, but by the profound inner transformation she undergoes. While the challenges of the twin flame path are intense, they ultimately lead her to a state of mastery, where she embodies the highest aspects of her soul. This embodiment is not passive. It is an active, dynamic expression of divine love, wisdom, and power in her everyday life. As she progresses, the divine feminine moves beyond the initial stages of yearning and searching. She no longer seeks external validation or completion through her twin flame or any external source. Instead, she becomes the source of her own fulfillment, anchoring herself in her truth. This self-realization is the pinnacle of her empowerment. She understands that union with her twin flame begins with union within herself. Every experience, every emotional challenge, and every act of surrender has led her to this point of alignment with her highest self. The empowered divine feminine also understands the concept of non-attachment. While she holds deep love for her twin flame, she is not bound by the need to control or possess the connection. Her love becomes unconditional, free from expectations, and rooted in the present moment. This shift allows her to embrace the journey as it is, without clinging to outcomes or timelines. In doing so, she liberates herself and her twin, creating a space where true spiritual union can occur organically. One of the most profound aspects of her empowerment is her ability to radiate love and healing outward. The energy she cultivates within herself becomes a beacon for others. As she embodies divine love, she uplifts those around her, contributing to the collective healing of humanity. The twin flame journey is never just about two individuals. It is about raising the vibration of the planet. The divine feminine, through her journey of self-mastery, plays a pivotal role in this mission. Her empowerment also manifests in the way she navigates life. She no longer views challenges as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and expansion. She trusts her intuition and inner guidance, making decisions from a place of alignment rather than fear. Her strength lies in her softness, her ability to remain open-hearted even in the face of adversity. This openness is not a vulnerability, but a testament to her courage and faith. As she steps into her power, the divine feminine becomes a living embodiment of divine principles she has cultivated: compassion, wisdom, resilience, and love. Her journey has taught her that true empowerment is not about dominance or control, but about authenticity and alignment with one's soul purpose. She moves through the world with grace, confident in her path and her role in the greater cosmic plan. The final gift of her journey is the realization that union is not a destination, but a state of being. She carries the essence of union within her, regardless of whether her twin flame is physically present. This realization frees her from the cycles of longing and separation, allowing her to experience the fullness of life. In this state of wholeness, she is not just the divine feminine. She is the embodiment of the divine itself, a co-creator of her reality and a force of love in the world. In embracing her empowerment, the divine feminine honors not only her own journey, but the sacred mission of twin flames. She understands that every step she has taken, every challenge she has faced, has been a part of a divine plan. Her story is one of triumph, not because she has won anything, but because she has become everything she was always meant to be. She is the empowered divine feminine, radiant, sovereign, and whole.